And that is where we're going to begin today with history in the making as the world waits in suspense for the Catholic Church to pick its next leader. Huge crowds are expected in Vatican Square, made up of people from all over the world. The conclave to pick the 267th Pope gets underway later today. 133 cardinals already gathered for Mass earlier this morning ahead of the vote. Tony and CBS News senior correspondent, that's Nora O'Donnell, are leading our coverage from Rome. You can see, guys, it's so good to see you. The picture behind you of the Vatican looks so beautiful, it almost looks fake. Good to see you both. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Gayle. Good morning, everybody. I mean, we're in a place that's just bursting with history. What a place to be. And what a person to be with, our eternal host, not just senior colleague here. And you were here in 2013.
I mean, just to think about how different it is to be here 12 years later. I mean, Pope Francis, that rare following a resignation, and then he became a revolutionary pope. And so now the church is at a crossroads between continuity and change at a very precarious moment in the world.
Yeah, those are the big questions. And I've been telling people, whether you're a Catholic or not, no matter where you stand on the big questions of life, no matter what you believe, this church behind me has shaped the world we are all living in today. And the new pope, whoever that is, believed by Catholics, of course, to be part of an unbroken living chain all the way back to Peter and Christ himself. That new pope is going to continue to shape the world that we all live in together. And in terms of the sheer numbers of followers the Pope has, there is no peer here on earth. And a matter of hours is all that separates us and that future. Inside the Sistine Chapel, the final rituals will begin. But, and here's the key thing, only after days of discussion between the cardinals about what is needed and who is best positioned, Nora, to deliver it.
Yeah, they have been having those discussions, which is really interesting because we're getting some tea leaves from those. And the next Holy Father will play a pivotal role in determining the direction of the Catholic faith. CBS News polling shows American Catholics overwhelmingly approve of how Pope Francis led the church. And more than a third think the next pope should have more conservative teachings than Francis.
We talked to some American Catholics about that question and others here in Rome and what they are looking for. And they're all talking about it as well from the next pope. We're going to have more on that in just a moment, plus potential contenders for the papacy, the tea leaves, the popefuls.
There's some new ones this morning.
Yes,
some new ones.
Constantly changing. But before we get to that, we're going to go to Seth Doane, who's here with us on set here. He's got the latest on the conclave itself. Seth, there are dozens, hundreds of cardinals even, thousands of journalists, though, it feels like, everywhere. And you're one of them. How is it?
Running around after them is wild. They are the celebrities of the moment. That term papabile, or popable, is heard a lot here in Italy these days. It's about who might be a worthy contender. Bookies are taking bets on it. And while that's not allowed here in Italy, there is a Fanta Papa game site, a sort of place that people can go and choose who they would like to see as the next pope, as suspense grows.
These princes of the church draw crowds like famous royals might, in the clamor for clues as to how cardinals may be leaning.
Are names mentioned?
No names.
This is the world's oldest democratic exercise.
Vatican watcher John Allen has been publishing a papabile of the day on his site Crux.
We tend to look at this really as a horse race in a way. Is that fair?
Catholics believe that all of this unfolds under the guidance of the Holy Spirit. The fact that this is a supernatural process doesn't make it any less human, and therefore doesn't make it any less political.
He thinks there's a clear frontrunner, the Vatican's top diplomat.
The Italian Cardinal Pietro Parolin, the man who was Pope Francis's Secretary of State.
Or a Vatican outsider also credited with bridging divides.
Cardinal Pier Battista Pizzaballa, sort of the top Catholic in the Middle East.
Or the American Robert Francis Prevost, who lived in Peru, speaks Spanish, and mixes those worlds. Or for a conservative, the man who led opposition to some of Francis's outreach to the LGBTQ community.
Cardinal Fridolin Ambongo from Kinshasa in Congo. So there are a lot of horses in this race.
How likely is it that the names that we're hearing will be the next pope?
Well, there's a famous Italian saying that he who enters a conclave as a pope exits a cardinal, meaning that if you're getting a lot of buzz, you're not going to be elected.
Alan thinks it'll be a brief conclave, and he did the math. In the last 10 conclaves, it took an average of 6.8 ballots to choose a pope. So with 1 vote today and 4 on the following days, that could mean we'd have a pope by the end of the week. Of course,
Wow.
we'll see.
Yeah, there'll be leading mass on Sunday, that would mean. Seth, thank you very much. Appreciate it.